Hi, Alia. Mute myself. Oh, now I can. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Alia? Alia?
Yes, Mia. Yes.
I will start admitting them because some
Oh,
of them is not using their what you call this, their names. Some of them are using, so I can rename.
okay.
But some of them I don't know the name. So if you can
Okay.
just announce that after I
Yes, and
admit.
also has he sent the link right in the chat? Great. I'll
Yes,
do. I'll do
it's
that.
we're ready with that.
I'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, all. Welcome to the Emirates NBT Poetry for All competition, the final round. Great to have you all here. Would you please kindly rename your profile ID with your name and your school name, because that will greatly help us to identify you. And I'm also going to be sending a Zoom link. So if you are a teacher or a parent and not with a student who's participating and would still like to follow these proceedings, you can follow us on the YouTube link. It would be great if we just have the students, the participating students here on this call, because then it's easier for us to identify them and call them out when their turn comes. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will be starting in 10 minutes. If I can please ask you, just like we did with the first round, if you can rename yourself with the student's name and the school name, please, so we know that that student is here. If you are a parent or a teacher whose student is joining with you on your device, can I please ask you to rename your device with the student's name and the school name, so we are aware that your student is here and will call on them when it's their turn to perform. If you are a parent or a teacher who is here to watch and support your students, you are more than welcome to, but can we please ask you to do so through the live YouTube link that we've shared in the chat, and keep this platform only for the performing students. Thank you. Carol, Salinas, Shabina, PJC. If you can rename yourself with the student's name, please, and the school name. If you're a parent or a teacher who do not have the students with you, and you're here to support and watch, then please do so through the live YouTube link that we've shared in the chat. Good morning, everyone. Whoever has just joined us, can I please ask you to rename yourself with the student's name and the school name, so we know that your student is here? If you are a parent or a teacher who's here to watch and support the student, you are more than welcome to by doing it through the live YouTube link. But if you are a parent and a teacher with the student with you performing, please rename yourself as the student's name and the school name, so we know that the student is here. So I can call on Hala, Jaya, Ricarda, Shabina, PJC. If you can just let us know, please, if you are a parent or a teacher with the performing child. Maisam, so rename yourself with the student's name, please, and the school name. If your child is logging in from a different, or the student is logging in from a different device, and you are here just to watch and support the student, if I can please ask you to do so through the live YouTube link and leave this platform only for the performing students, please. Thank you. Miss Shabina, if is the student with you, or the student is logging in from a different device? If the student is with you, if you can rename yourself with the student's name. Okay, so Miss Shabina, if you can follow your student from on the live YouTube link, we would really appreciate it. Thank you. So for anyone who has just joined us, if you are a teacher or a parent here to support your student, but your student is logging in from their own device, can I please ask you to support and watch your students through the live YouTube link? If you are a parent or a teacher with the performing student, can I please ask you to rename yourself with the student's name and the school name, so we know that the student is here. The YouTube link is in the chat. I've put it now again. Teacher Mary Lou, if you don't have the student with you, can I please ask you to follow and watch through the live YouTube link? Hani Suhaib, if you are a student, can you just rename yourself with the school name, please, as well? Thank you. We're just waiting on a few more to come in, and the judges. Good morning again, everyone. So just letting the new ones who have just joined in know, excuse me, if you are a parent or a teacher logging in here to watch and support your student, but your student is logging in from a different device, can I please ask you to support and watch your students through the live YouTube link? If you are, if the student is with you and using your device, can I please ask you to rename yourself with the student's name and the school name, so we know that the student is here? Kirolis Emil?
Yes, miss.
Yes, is the student with you?
And no, I am the student, sorry.
You are the student. Okay. So can you put your school name next to your name, please?
Yes, sorry, my apologies.
Thank you. Caroline Pinto, Devon Williams. Good job. Yes, I got the school name.
Hi, Dania.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. I have just joined in and I cannot view the link that you would like us to go on, the YouTube link. Can you just repost it in the chat, please?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. We're just waiting on one more judge and then we can go ahead and start. Good morning. Let me just check with the team if we are good to start. Mia, Alia, are we good to start? Do we have everyone here?
Yes, we're good to go. We're still waiting for some more to join, but we can start to make sure that we are on time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Afra. How are you?
I'm so excited. I'm really good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, good. Good morning. Danabel, we can see you. Good morning, Danabel.
You're muted, Danabel.
Good morning.
Okay. And we have one more judge, Rochelle. Good morning, Rochelle.
Good morning, and I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for being with us today.
Thank
So
you.
I think we will go ahead and start. Okay, just to let everyone know. So good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for being here at the Emirates Airline, at the Emirates NBD Poetry for All final round competition. We are so proud and happy to see you here join the finals. Congratulations, and we look forward to watching your performances. Before we go ahead and start with introducing the judges, I will let you know that the winners will be announced at the end of the week. The prize giving ceremony will be on Tuesday, the 8th of February at 12 p.m. So the winners will be notified that they have won a place. And then we will announce the place at the awards ceremony. So we will email you and we will call you if you have won a place in the competition. Also, we will also request you to practice your poem because the first place winners will be performing at the awards ceremony in front of the audience as well. So this is my public service announcement for today. So I will start now by introducing the judges that we have with us today. I will start in alphabetical order. So we will start with Afra Atiq, who is an acclaimed Emirati spoken word poet. She has performed internationally, including events in India, Germany, and the UK. Afra holds a PhD in media and creative industries and is the co-founder of the Untitled Chapter. So welcome, Dr. Afra Atiq, to this platform and to the competition. Next, we have Danabel Gutierrez. Danabel is a multi-awarded writer, poet, actress, and photographer. She is the author of poetry books I Long to Be the River and Until the Dreams Come, and chapbooks Eventually the River It Surrenders and Softer. Welcome and thank you for being with us, Danabel. And last but not least, we have Rochelle Potker, who is a Goan Indian poet whose heart beats to a universal rhythm. She is the author of 4 Degrees of Separation and Paper Asylum that was shortlisted for the Rabindranath Tagore Literary Prize in 2020. Her poetry film Skirt featured on Shonda Rhimes' Shondaland. Her poems To Darza won the 2018 North Jural Literary Prize UK, and The Girl from Lal Bazaar was shortlisted at the Gregory O'Donoghue International Poetry Prize, Ireland 2018. And she has the coordinates of Us is her co-authored book of poetry cross-translations in English and Marathi. Thank you, Rochelle, for joining us and welcome. We hope you enjoy this competition. So thank you to all the judges. And now I will tell you how the competition will go ahead, like we did with the first round. We will start with the 8 to 13 age group. We will call on the student's name and the school name and the poem that they will be reciting. We will give you a thumbs up or let you know that you're audible and visible, and you can go ahead and start. For the 8 to 13, you do not need to provide a reasoning for choosing the poem. All you need to do is just, once you're ready, take a deep breath, stand up straight, and recite your poem. For the 14 to 18, on top of taking a deep breath, we would like you to please give a reasoning for choosing the poem that you will be reciting. This is one of the criteria, the judging criteria for this age group. I remind you that we are here to support you, to cheer you, to listen to you. So do not be scared. We have wonderful judges with beautiful smiles. So they're all here to listen to you and to support you. So just take a deep breath and start. Would any of the judges like to address the students before we start? And with Rochelle.
I would want to wish all of you a very good luck. Don't worry, you are with one of the most beautiful forms of poetry, so go all out. We are rooting for you.
Thank you, Rochelle. Danabel or Dr. Afra, any last words?
Good morning, students. I wish you the best of luck. Know that poetry is its own reward, whatever the outcome may be. And I look forward to hearing you.
Thank you, Danabel.
I'm so excited to see all of you perform again. I'm so proud of you. I think you guys did a really, really incredible job in the semifinals. And I'm, like Danny was saying, we're here to support you. We're here to cheer you on. And just take a deep breath and have fun with it.
Thank you, Dr. Afra, and thank you to all the judges. And we will, with that, start with the 8 to 13 age group. And I will call on Emma Mariam Saban from Al Ain Juniors School. Yes. Emma Mariam Saban from Al Ain Juniors School, who will be performing Ken Nesbitt, Good Morning, Dear Students.
Am I audible, Miss?
Yes, we can see you.
Good morning, dear students, by Ken Nesbitt. Good morning, dear students, the principal said. Please put down your pencils and go back to bed. Today we will spend the day playing outside and take the whole school on a carnival ride. We will learn to eat candy while watching TV, then listen to records and swing from a tree. We'll also be learning to draw on the walls, to scream in the classrooms and run in the halls. So bring in your skateboard, your scooter, your bike. It's time to be different and do what you like. The teachers are going to give you a rest. You don't have to study, there won't be a test. And if you prefer for a bit of a change, feel free to go wild and act really strange. Go put on your clown suit and dye your hair green and copy your face on the Xerox machine. Tomorrow it's back to the regular grind. Today, just go crazy. We really don't mind. So tear up your homework, we'll give you an A. Oh wait, I'm just kidding. It's April Fool's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Next, we have Ahmed Ayan Hassin from Al Salam Private School.
Excuse me,
Ahmed.
Can you hear me? Can you see me and can you hear me?
Let me see. No, not yet. Don't think we can see you. Can anyone see him? No.
Excuse me, it's saying you can't start your video.
Okay, let's try now. Here we go.
Okay.
So we have Ahmed Ayan Hassin from Al Salam Private School, who will be reciting Ogden Nash, Adventures of Isabel.
Adventures of Isabel by Ogden Nash. Isabel met an enormous bear. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and cavernous. The bear said, Isabel, glad to meet you. How do, Isabel?
Now I'll eat you. Isabel? Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She washed her hands and she straightened her hair up. Then Isabel quietly ate the bear up. Once in a night, as black as pitch, Isabel met a wicked old witch. The witch's face was cross and wrinkled. The witch's gums with teeth were sprinkled. Ho, ho, Isabel, the old witch crowed. I'll turn you into an ugly toad. Isabel? Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She showed no rage and she showed no rancor. But she turned the witch into milk and drank her. Isabel met a hideous giant. Isabel continued, self-reliant. The giant was hairy. The giant was horrid. He had one eye in the middle of his forehead. Good morning, Isabel, the giant said. I'll grind your bones to make my bread. Isabel? Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She nibbled the zwieback that she always fed off, and when it was gone, she cut the giant's head off. Isabel met a troublesome doctor. He punched and he poked till he really shocked her. The doctor's talk was of coughs and chills, and the doctor's satchel bulged with pills. The doctor said unto Isabel, swallow this, it will make you well. Isabel? Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She took those pills from the pill concoctor, and Isabel calmly cured the doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed, for this. Next, we have Devon Rahim Williams from Dira Private School. I hope I'm pronouncing your first name correctly.
Yes, Miss, it's correct. So hello,
Excellent.
My name is Devon. I go to Dare Private School. Today I want to say the poem, Good Morning Dear Students by Ken Nesbitt. Good morning, dear students, the principal said. Please put down your pencils and go back to bed. Today we'll be spending the day playing outside, then take the whole school on a carnival ride. We'll learn to eat candy while watching TV, then listen to records and swing from a tree. We'll also be learning to draw on the walls, to scream in the classrooms and run in the halls. So bring in your skateboard, your scooter, your bike. It's time to be different and do what you like. The teachers are going to give you a rest. You don't have to study, there won't be a test. And if you prefer for a bit of a change, feel free to go wild and act really strange. Go put on a clown suit and dye your hair green and copy your face on the Xerox machine. Tomorrow we're back to the regular grind. Today just go crazy and really don't mind. So tear up your homework, we'll give you an A. Oh wait, I'm just kidding. It's April Fool's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Devon from the private school. And next we have Inaya Kaushik from Delhi Private School, Dubai.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and see you.
Okay. Adventures of Isabel. Isabel met an enormous bear. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and cavernous. The bear said, Isabel, glad to meet you. How do, Isabel? Now I'll eat you. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She washed her hands and she straightened her hair up. Then Isabel quietly ate the bear up. Once in a night as black as pitch, Isabel met a wicked old witch. The witch's face was cross and wrinkled. The witch's gums with teeth was sprinkled. Ha! How, Isabel? The old witch crowed. I'll turn you into an ugly toad. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She showed no rage and she showed no rancor, but she turned the witch into milk and drank her. Isabel met a hideous giant. Isabel continued self-reliant. The giant was hairy and the giant was horrid. He had one eye in the middle of his forehead. Good morning, Isabel, the giant said. I'll grind your bones to make my bread. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She nibbled the zwieback that she always fed off. And when it was gone, she cut the giant's head off. Isabel met a troublesome doctor. He punched and he poked till he really shocked her. The doctor's talk was of coughs and chills, and the doctor's satchel bulged with pills. The doctor said unto Isabel, swallow this, it will make you well. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She took those pills from the pill concoctor, and Isabel calmly cured the doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Inaya. Next, we have Mariam Amin Amir from Dubai National Schools, Al Tawar.
Good morning.
Mariam Amin. Yes, we can see you, Mariam. Mariam will be reciting Edgar Albert Guest's poem, See It Through.
Good morning. My name is Maryam Amin, and today I'll be reciting this poem called See It Through by Edgar Albert Guest. When you're up against a trouble, meet it squarely, face to face. Lift your chin and set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fail, but you may conquer, see it through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If the worst is bound to happen, spite of all that you can do, running from it will not save you. See it through. Even hope may seem but futile with the troubles you're beset, but remember you are facing just what other men have met. You may fail, but fall, still fighting. Don't give up whatever you do. Eyes front, head high to the finish, see it through. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam. Next, from Dwight School, we have Rauda Al-Maktoum. From Dwight School, we have Rauda Al-Maktoum, who will be performing Ken Nesbitt's poem, Good Morning, Dear Students. We can see you, Rhoda.
My name is...
Yeah, can you come closer, please, so we can hear you?
Okay. Hello, my name is Rhoda, and I'm going to be reciting the poem, Good Morning, Dear Students, and the author is Ken Nesbitt. Good morning, dear students, the principal said. Please put down your pencils and go back to bed. See, today we'll spend the day playing outside, then take the school on a carnival ride. We'll learn to eat candy while watching TV, then listen to records and swing from a tree. We'll also be learning to draw on the walls, to scream in the classrooms and run in the halls. So bring your skateboard, your scooter, your bike. It's time to be different and do what you like. The teachers are going to give you a rest. You won't have to study. There won't be a test. And if you'd prefer for a bit of a change, feel free to go wild and act really strange. Go put on a clown suit and dye your hair green, then copy your face on the Xerox machine. Tomorrow it's back to our usual grind. So today just go crazy, we really don't mind. So tear up your homework, we'll give you an A. Oh wait, I'm just kidding, it's April Fool's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhoda. Next, we have Wid Alawar from GEMS Al Barsha National School.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can, yes, we can hear you and see you.
A stranger came this morning, dressed all in black and gray, put every sound into a bag and carried them away. The whistling of the kettle, the turning of a lock, the purring of the kitten, and the ticking of the clock. The popping of the toaster, the crunching of the flakes, and when you spread the marmalade, the scraping noise it makes. The hissing of the frying pan, the ticking of the grill, the bubbling of the bathtub as it starts to fill, the drumming of the raindrops on the window pane, and when you do the washing up, the gurgle of the drain. The crying of the baby, the squeaking of the chair, the swishing of the curtains and the creaking of the stair. A stranger called this morning. He didn't leave his name. Left us only silence. Life will never be the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Wid. Next, we have Sarah Olju from GEMS International School Al Khair. Sarah will be performing My Dog by Vernon Scannell. Can you come closer so we can't hear you? Yes.
My dog by Vernon Scannell. My dog belongs to no breed. A bit of this, a bit of that. His head is like a small haystack. He's lazy, smelly, fat. If I say sit, he walks away. If I throw a stick or a ball, he falls down in the grass as if he has no legs at all. Then looks at me with eyes that say, you threw the thing, not me. You want it back, and get it back. Fair is fair, you must agree. He is a thief. Last week, but one, he stole the Sunday roast and shows no guilt at all as we sat down to beans on toast. The only time I saw him run and see went like a flash was when the mother in the park tried to steal my cash. My loyal, brave companion flew like a missile to the gate and didn't stop till safely home. He had left me to my fate. And would I swap him for a dog? Obedient, clean, and good? An honest, faithful, lively chap. Oh boy, I would.
Thank you, Sarah. Well done. Next, we have Angelina Kahlau from German International School, Dubai. Angelina Kahlau, or I hope I pronounced something correctly.
Can you hear me?
Not very clearly. Can you come closer, please? Try now.
Now?
Yes, you just need to raise your voice a little bit so we can hear you.
Good morning, dear students, by Ken Nesbitt. Good morning, dear students, the principal said. Please put down your pencils and go back to bed. Today we will spend the day playing outside and take the whole school on a carnival ride. We'll learn to eat candy while watching TV, then listen to records and swing from a tree. We'll also be learning to draw on the walls, to scream in the classrooms and run in the halls. So bring in your skateboard or scooter or your bike. It's time to be different and do what you like. The teachers are going to give you a rest. You don't have to study. There will be a test. And if you prefer for a bit of a change, feel free to go wild and act really strange. Go put on a clown suit and dye your hair green and copy your face on the Xerox machine. Tomorrow it's back to the regular grind. Today just go crazy, we really don't mind. So tear up your homework, we'll give you an A. Oh wait, I'm just kidding, it's April Fool's Day.
Thank you, Angelina. Well done. Next, we have Sheikha Munir Prayel from Global English School. Sheikha Munir Prayel from Global English School, and she will be reciting James Reeves' The Sea.
Excuse me, Miss Dania, my
Yes.
camera is not working. It's saying you cannot start your video because host has disabled it.
Okay.
I'm not able to.
Can you try now? We're sending you a request to turn on the camera.
It's still not working, Miss.
Okay, let's try one more time. We're sending you a request that says, aha, we see you now.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheikha Munir from Global English School. Today I'll be performing a poem, The Sea by James Reeves. The sea is a hungry dog, giant and gray. He rolls on the beach all day with his clashing teeth and shaggy jaws. Hour upon hour he gnaws. The rumbling, tumbling stones and bones. The giant sea dog moans, licking his greasy paws. And when the night wind roars and the moon rocks in the stormy cloud, he bounds to his feet and snuffs and sniffs, shaking his wet sides over the cliffs, and he howls and howls long and loud. But on quiet days on May or June, when even the grass is on the dune, play no more the reedy tune, with his head between his paws, he lays on the sandy shore, so quiet, he scarcely snores. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheikha, for your performance. Next, we have Anfal Afani from Maryland International School. Anfal, are you here? No. Okay, we'll come back to you if you come back in. Next, we have Camilla Sofia from Pedotera. Camilla Sofia Pedotera from St. Mary's Catholic High School. Muhaisna. I hope I didn't butcher your name too much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and see you. Go ahead.
My name is Camilla Sofia de Pedro Pedotera, and I'm going to be reciting the poem, The Adventures of Isabel by Alden Nash. Isabel met an enormous bear. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and cavernous. The bear said, Isabel, glad to meet you.
How do, Isabel? Now I'll eat you.
Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She washed her hands and she straightened her hair up. Then Isabel quietly ate the bear up. Once in a night as black as pitch, Isabel met a wicked old witch. The witch's face was crossed and wrinkled. The witch's gums with teeth were sprinkled. How, Isabel? The old witch crowed. I'll turn you into an ugly toad. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She showed no rage and she showed no rancor, but she turned the witch into milk and drank her. Isabel met a hideous giant. Isabel continued self-reliant. The giant was hairy. The giant was horrid. He had one eye in the middle of his forehead. Good morning, Isabel, the giant said. I'll grind your bones to make my bread. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She nibbled the zwieback that she always fed off, and when it was gone, she cut the giant's head off. Isabel met a troublesome doctor. He punched and he poked till he really shocked her. The doctor's talk was of coughs and chills, and the doctor's satchel bulged with pills. The doctor said unto Isabel, swallow this, it will make you well. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She took those pills from the pill concoctor, and Isabel calmly cured the doctor. The Adventures of Isabel by Ogden Nash.
Thank you very much, Camilla. And next we have Wadood Abdul Zahir from the Sheffield Private School. Wadood Abdul Zahir from the Sheffield Private School, who will be reciting Adventures of Isabel by Ogden Nash.
Adventures of Isabel by Ogden Nash. Isabel met an enormous bear. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and cavernous. The bear said, Isabel, glad to meet you. How do, Isabel? Now, I'll eat you. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She washed her hands and straightened her hair up. Then quietly, Isabel ate the bear up. Once in the night, as dark as pitch, Isabel met a wicked old witch. The witch's face was crossed and wrinkled. The witch's gums with teeth were sprinkled. Ho, ho, Isabel, the old witch crowed. I'll turn you into an ugly toad. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She showed no rage, she showed no rancor. Then quietly, she turned the witch into milk and drank her. Isabel met a hideous giant. Isabel continued self-reliant. The giant was hairy, the giant was horrid. He had one eye in the middle of his forehead. The giant said, "Good morning, Isabel. I'll grind your bones to make my bread." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She nibbled the zwieback she always fed off, and when it was gone, she cut the giant's head off. Isabel met a troublesome doctor. He punched and he poked till he really shocked her. The doctor's talks was of coughs and chills. The doctor's satchel bulged with pills. The doctor said unto Isabel, "Swallow this, it will make you well." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She took the pills from the pill concoctor, and calmly, Isabel cured the doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Wadud. And last but not least, we have Arya Arun Shirian from the Winchester School. Arya Arun.
Okay. Good morning, respected judges and my dear friends. I am Arya Arun of 6I from the Winchester School, Jabalani, and today I'm going to recite the poem Adventures of Isabel by Alden Nash. Isabel met in North's bed. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and callous. The bear said, "Isabel, glad to meet you. How Isabel, now I reach." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream. She sniffled. Well, can I start again?
Yes, no problem. Go ahead and start again. Take a deep breath and start again.
Good morning, respected judges and my dear friends. I'm Arya Arun of 6I from the Winchester School, Jabalani, and today I'm going to recite the poem Adventures of Isabel by Alden Nash. Isabel met an enormous bear. Isabel didn't care. The bear was hungry. The bear was ravenous. The bear's big mouth was cruel and callous. The bear said, "Isabel, glad to meet you. How do, Isabel? Now I eat you." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scream. She washed her hands and she straightened her hair. Then Isabel quietly ate the bear once in the night, as black as pitch. Isabel met a wicked old witch. The witch's face was cross and wrinkled. The witch's gums and teeth were sprinkled. Isabel, the old witch crowed, "A tale I can tell." Isabel Isabel was screaming. She showed no rage and she showed no wrath, but she turned legitimate and frank. Isabel met a hideous giant. Isabel continued self-reliant. The giant was hairy. The giant was horrid. He had one eye in the middle of his forehead. Good morning, Isabel, the giant said. I'll burn your bones to make my bread. Isabel didn't worry. Isabel and she nibbled the feedback that she always fed off. And when it was gone, she cut the giant's head off. Isabel met a troublesome doctor. He punched and he poked till he really shocked her. The doctor's talk was of cuffs and chills, and the doctor's satchel bulged with pills. The doctor said unto Isabel, "Swallow this, it'll make you well." Isabel didn't worry. Isabel didn't scream or scurry. She took those pills from the pill doctor, and Isabel calmly cured the doctor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arya. And I'll call back on Anfal if you're here. Anfal from Maryland International School. No. Okay, then. So we will move to the 14 to 18 age group now. And we remind the students that for this age group, you need to give a justification for why you've chosen the poem. You can do this at the beginning, before your poetry performance, or after. We will start with Musammad Moriam from Al Ain Junior School. Musammad Moriam from Al Ain Junior School.
And audible?
Yes, you're audible and you're visible. Who will be reciting So You Want to Be a Writer by Charles Bukowski.
The reason I chose this poem is because it made me realize that we should look for our natural talent instead of doing something we are not passionate for. And there's a reason between wanting to do something and when you can do something. So I'm starting the poem. If it doesn't come busting out of you in spite of everything, don't do it. Unless it comes out of your heart and your mind and your mouth and your guts, don't do it. If you have to sit there and staring at a computer screen or hunched over your typewriter just searching for words, don't do it. If you're doing it for money or fame, don't do it. If you're doing it because you want a woman in your bed, don't do it. If you have to sit there and rewrite it again and again, don't do it. If you're doing it because you want a woman in your bed, don't do it. If you're trying to write like somebody else, forget about it. If you have to wait for it to roar out of you, wait patiently. And if it never does roar out of you, then do something else. If you have to first read it to your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your parents or anybody at all, you're not ready. Don't be like so many writers. Don't be like so many thousands of people who call themselves writer. Don't be so dull and boring and pretentious. Don't be consumed with self-love. Libraries over the world have yawned themselves to sleep over your kind. Don't add to it. Don't do it. Unless it comes out of your soul like a rocket. Unless being still would drive you to madness or suicide or murder, don't do it. Unless it comes out of you, unless the sun inside you is burning your guts, don't do it. If it's truly time and if being chosen, it will do it by itself and will keep on doing. Unless it dies or it dies in you. There was no other way and there never was. Thank you.
Thank you, Musammad. And next we have Suhaila Ashali from Al Ittihad Private School, who will be performing Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you now. Yes.
Okay, so I chose this poem because I resonate with the poet. Basically, the poet is upset with his father about being satisfied with death. He explained to his father about the other 4 types of man who rage against death, resist it. And I really saw myself in the poet. I am the opposite of the father who's willing to go away satisfied. I'm not satisfied with almost anything. So I wonder when my time will have come, will I be satisfied like the father or like the 4 types of man and the poet? Will I rage against the inevitable? So I'll be starting right now. Do not go gentle into that good night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end know dark is right. Because their words hit fork no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight and learn. Too late, they've grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad heights, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suhaila.
Thank you.
Next, we have Khalid Riyan from Al Mawakib School Al Barsha, who will be reciting So You Want to Be a Writer by Charles Bukowski. We can see you, Khalid. We can't hear you. No. Do you want to log out and log in again? Okay, we'll come back to you then. Just when you come back, please let us know in the chat that you're back and we'll come back to you, okay? Next, we have Marina Tukareva from Australian International School. Marina Tukareva from Australian International School, who will be reciting Edgar Allan Poe, A Dream Within a Dream. Marina, are you here? Yes.
Yes, here I am. A Dream Within a Dream, Edgar Allan Poe. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow. You are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore that lies gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hands grains of golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep. While I weep, while I weep, oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? I chose this poem because beyond the literal meaning of exploring the essence of reality, Edgar Allan Poe also looks into the paradigm of time. In the 21st century and even earlier, we've tried as a society to tame time, to control it. And we invented clocks and calendars and schedules and deadlines to tame time. But yet in Edgar Allan's poem, A Dream Within a Dream, time becomes the indefinite, ever-changing and wild time that we once knew. And time is a concept, and we must not forget that. And how we perceive time is within our hands, like the grains of golden sand which seep through our fingers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marina. Next, we have Nusaiba Isaac from Dubai National School. Nusaiba Isaac.
Hi, can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, Still I Rise by Maya Angelou portrays the message of oppression towards Black people, especially women, that exist till this day. And in a prejudiced world filled with hatred and discrimination, it is important that we know who we are and we stand firm with what we believe in, because once we master that attribute, nothing can push us down and we can overcome anything. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Up out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you.
Thank you, Nusaiba. And I think we have Khalid back, so we'll go back to Khalid from Al Mawakib Al Barsha School.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. I will be presenting my poem, So You Want to Be a Writer by Charles Bukowski. I chose this poem because Bukowski writes with a poignant style like that of George Orwell. It describes a downtrodden metropolitan society that thrives off of negativity. Yet he's both cynical and soulful and unapologetically irreverent. So this poem represents trials and tribulation. I will now be presenting So You Want to Be a Writer by Charles Bukowski. So, you want to be a writer. If it doesn't come bursting out of you, in spite of everything, don't do it. Unless it comes unasked of your heart, your mind, your mouth, and your gut, don't do it. If you have to sit for hours at your computer screen or hunched over your typewriter, searching for words, don't do it. If you're doing it for money or fame, don't do it. If you're doing it to get women in your bed, don't do it. If you have to keep rewriting it again and again, don't do it. If it's hard work just thinking about it, don't do it. And if you're trying to write like somebody else, then forget about it. If you have to wait for it to roar out of you, then wait patiently. And if it never does roar out of you, then find something else. If you first have to read it to your wife, or girlfriend, or boyfriend, or parents, or anybody at all, then you are not ready. Don't be like so many writers. Don't be like so many people who call themselves writers. Don't be dull and boring and pretentious. Don't be consumed with self-love. The libraries of the world have yawned themselves to sleep over your kind. Don't add to that. Don't do it. Unless it comes out of your soul like a rocket, don't do it. Unless being still would drive you to madness or suicide or murder, don't do it. Unless the sun inside you is burning you up, don't do it. When it is time, when it is truly time, and if you have been chosen, it will do it by itself, and it will keep on doing it until you die, or it dies in you. There is no other way. There never was.
Thank you very much, Khaled. Next, we have Kirolis Habib Yaqub from Gems Al Khalij International School. I hope I pronounced your first name correctly. Kirolis
Yes.
Habib Yaqub.
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Tiger.
Go ahead.
The Tiger by William Blake. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. In the forests of the night, what immortal hand do I could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deep shore skies burns the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand, what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain? In what furnace, what thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp? Dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand do I dare frame thy fearful symmetry? The reason I picked this poem, because I've confronted that tiger a long time ago, and he still haunts me till this day. I believe that in mankind's history, there was always a point where man had nothing but innocence in himself. But then came the tiger, and with him came hatred, jealousy, greed, enviness, and all those evil desires. And so I share William Blake's thought, and I ask, why did he choose to create that tiger? Why wouldn't he destroy that sinister creature before it could bear the fruit of pain, misery, and death? Well, it was an honor to be in this competition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kirolis, and good luck to you. Next, we have Jonas Schmidt from German International School, Dubai, who will be performing Walter de la Mare's The Listeners.
Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead, Jonas. Yes, we can see you and hear you.
All right. Is there anybody there? Said the traveler, knocking on the moonlit door. And his horse in the silence champed the grasses off the forest fern floor. And a bird flew up out of the turret above the traveler's head. And he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveler. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his gray eyes, where he stood perplexed and still. But only a host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men, stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveler's call. And he felt in his heart the strangeness, the stillness answering his cry, while his horse moved, cropping the dark turf, neath the starred and leafy sky. And he felt in his heart the strangeness, the stillness answering his cry, while his horse moved, cropping the dark turf, neath the starred and leafy sky. For he suddenly smote on the door even louder and lifted his head. Tell them I came, and no one answered, that I kept my word, he said. Never the least stir made the listeners, though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house from that one man left awake. I, they heard his foot upon the stirrup and the sound of iron and stone, and how the silence surged softly backward when the plunging hoofs were gone. So Walter de la Mare published The Listeners in 1912 as the title of his second collection of poetry. It remains one of his most famous pieces of writing and reflects the fascination with mystery and supernatural. That's why I chose this poem, because of this mystery vibe it creates and how it works with symbols to create these pictures in our heads. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonas. Next, we have from the New Indian Model School, Seema Janjir. Seema from New Indian Model School.
Yes.
We can see you.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
All right. Good morning, judges. So starting off with my justification, I would like to say The reason why I chose the listeners is, first of all, yes, there is a lot of mystery behind the poem and the events taking place in that poem, which is what draws the listeners towards it. But one of the main reasons why I chose it is because it kind of resonates as to who I am, or not me, but in general, teenagers, because there is this thing in society where teenagers like to be left alone and isolated and independent. And they have this fear of asking for help because they do need help. Despite all of it, they are still teenagers, but they don't ask for help because they are afraid of denial, which is one of the main elements in this poem, where the traveler is asking for help, but there's no one there to help him, kind of like screaming under the ocean. So that's why I went with this poem. Well, because I could feel it, and hopefully I can put those feelings across in my recitation. Okay. Is there anybody there? Said the traveler, knocking on the moonlit door. And his horse, in the silence, jumped the grasses of the forest's ferny floor. And a bird flew up, out of the turret, above the traveler's head. And he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveler. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes, where he stood perplexed and still. But only a host of phantom listeners that dwelled in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveler's call. And he felt in his heart this strangeness, this stillness answering his cry, and while his horse moved, cropping the dark turf, 'neath the starred and leafy sky. For he suddenly smote on the door, even louder, and lifted his head. Tell them I came, and no one answered, that I kept my word, he said. Never the least stir made the listeners, though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house, from the one man left awake. Aye, they heard his foot upon the stirrup, and the sound of iron on stone, and how the silence surged softly backward when the plunging hoofs were gone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Seema. Next, we have from Sharjah American International School, Atina Haidari. Atina Haidari from Sharjah American International School.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you. Is it possible to remove the mask? Is it safe for you to remove the mask?
That's fine. Okay. So my name is Atina. I'm a senior at Sharjah American International School, Dubai, and I'm going to give my justification before I start reading the poem. So the reason I chose the poem is because I truly do admire the poet and her work. And to me, the way I view the poem is that it relates a lot to anxiety and the thought process that comes with it. And it is something that I have struggled with. And I think that it's important to have a connection with the poetry that you recite and you read, because there's more of an understanding and there's more of a connection. When I am inside writing, all I can think about is how I should be outside living. When I am outside living, all I can do is notice all there is to write about. When I read about love, I think I should be out loving. When I love, I think I need to read more. I am stumbling in pursuit of grace. I hunt vengeance with a patience. I hunt patience with a vengeance. On the mornings when my brother's tired muscles held to the pillow, my father used to tell him, for every moment you aren't playing basketball, someone else is on the court practicing. I spend most of my time wondering if I should be somewhere else. So I have learned to shape the words thank you with my first breath each morning, my last breath every night. When the last breath comes, at least I will know I was thankful for all the places I was so sure I was not supposed to be. All those places I made it to, all the words all the loves I held, all the words I wrote. And even if it is just for one moment, I will be exactly where I am supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Atina. And next we have from Sunmark School, Nicola Peens, who will be reciting The Paradox by Sarah Kay. Nicola Peens from Sunmark School.
Hi, my name is Nicola. I'm from Sunmark and I will be reciting the poem The Paradox by Sarah Kay. Now, Sarah Kay has always been such an idol to me, and she acted as a gateway for me into the world of spoken poetry, which led to my love for theater and acting. And I will forever be so thankful for her for allowing me to get there. But this poem specifically, I felt so drawn to because I resonated a lot with the worry she shared with us about being so concerned she's wasting the little precious time that she has left. Along with that, also the opening of this poem is really one that I've never been able to forget. The juxtaposing statements at the beginning, it allowed me to reflect on human behavior and how we ourselves have this tendency to have these contradicting needs that we ourselves can't quite decipher yet. The Paradox by Sarah Kay. When I'm inside writing, all I can think is, I should be outside living. When I'm outside living, all I can do is notice all there is to write about. When I read about love, I think I should be loving. When I love, I think I need to read more. I'm stumbling in pursuit of grace. I hunt patience with the vengeance on the morning that my brother's tired muscles held to the pillow. My father used to tell him, for every moment you aren't playing basketball, someone else is on the court practicing. I spent so much of my time wondering if I should be somewhere else. So I've learned to shape the words thank you with my first breath each morning, my last breath each night. When that last breath comes, at least I will know I was thankful for all the places I was so sure I was not supposed to be, all the places I made it to, all the words I wrote, all the loves I held, and even if it's just for one moment, I will be exactly where I'm supposed to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nicola. And next we have from the Philippine school, Caitlin Norin Gonzalez. Caitlin Norin Ogo Gonzalez from the Philippine school, who will be reciting Maya Angelou, Still I Rise.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Caitlin Norin Ogo Gonzalez from the Philippine school. The piece that I'm about to perform is an embodiment of confidence. Confidence that knows their own value and is willing to prove others wrong when they're looked down upon. It's able to teach me to lift your chin up despite the difficulties or discrimination one may face. This poem gave me that strength, and I hope that it will give it to you too. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, because I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise up from a past that's rooted in pain. I rise, I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bring the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. And last but not least, we have Dominique Villaforte from Victoria International School of Sharjah.
Hello, everybody. My
Hello.
name is Dominique Villaforte, and I'll be representing Victoria International School of Sharjah. This is a message I would like to share to call everyone's attention and hasten the need for action, not to propagate fear or evoke a nihilistic approach to our unforeseeable destinies, or resent the previous generations, or unsettle those after us. For me, this is a letter we all must bequeath to ourselves as the enabler of our own futures. It starts with, "Dear future generations, I think I speak for the rest of us when I say, sorry. Sorry we left you with our mess of a planet. Sorry that we were too caught up in our own doings to do something. Sorry we listened to people who made excuses to do nothing. I hope you forgive us. We just didn't realize how special the earth was, like a marriage going wrong. We didn't know what we had until it was gone. For example, I'm guessing you probably know the Amazon desert is, right? Well, believe it or not, it was once called the Amazon rainforest, and there were billions of trees there, all of them gorgeous and just, oh, you don't know much about trees, do you? Well, let me tell you that trees are amazing. And I mean, we literally breathe the air they are creating, and they clean up our pollution, our carbon, store and purify water, give us medicine to cure our diseases, food that feeds us. Which is why I am so sorry to tell you that we burned them down, cut them down with brutal machines, horrific at a rate of 40 football fields every minute. That's 50% of all the trees in the world, all gone in the last 100 years. Why? For this. And that wouldn't make me so sad if there weren't so many pictures of leaves on it. You know, when I was a child, I read how the Native Americans had such consideration for the planet that they felt responsible for how they left the land for the next 7 generations. Which brings me great sorrow, because most of us today don't even care about tomorrow. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we put profit over people, greed over need, the rule of gold above the golden rule. I'm sorry we use nature as a credit card with no spending limit, overdrafting animals to extinction, stealing your chance to ever see their uniqueness or become friends with them. Sorry we poison the ocean so much that you can't even swim in them. But most of all, I'm sorry about our mindset, because we had the nerve to call this destruction progress. Hey, Fox News, if you don't think climate change is a threat, I dare you to interview the thousands of homeless people in Bangladesh. See, while you were in your penthouse nestled, their homes were literally washed away due to the rising sea levels. And Sarah Palin, you said that you love the smell of fossil fuels? Well, I urge you to talk to the kids of Beijing who are forced to wear pollution masks just to get to school. You see, you can ignore this, But the thing about truth is, it can be denied, not avoided. So I'm sorry, future generation. I'm sorry that our footprints became a sinkhole, not a garden. I'm sorry that we paid so much attention to ISIS and very little to how fast the ice is melting in the Arctic. I'm sorry we doomed you. I'm sorry we didn't find another planet in time to move to. You know what? Cut the beat. I am not sorry. This future, I do not accept it. Because an error does not become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We can redirect this. How? Let me suggest that if a farmer sees a tree that is unhealthy, they don't look at the branches to diagnose it. They look at the root. So like that farmer, we must look at the root and not to the branches of the government, not to the politicians run by corporations. We are the root. We are the foundation. This generation, it is up to us to take care of this planet. It is our only home. We must globally warm our hearts and change the climate of our souls and realize that we are not apart from nature. We are a part of nature. And to betray nature is to betray us. To save nature is to save us. Because whatever you're fighting for, racism, poverty, feminism, gay rights, or any type of equality, it won't matter in the least. Because if we don't all work together to save the environment, we will be equally extinct. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominique. And before I say goodbye to everyone, I'll just try to see if Anfal is back with us. Just to see, make sure that we haven't missed her chance to perform. Anfal? Okay. So with that, I will say thank you to all the students for performing today, and well done for reaching the finals. Thank you to the teachers who were encouraged, who are part of this process definitely by supporting and encouraging their students. Thank you to the parents as well for encouraging the students to participate in this competition. And again, thank you to the judges. I am so happy to have you here with us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to the students. And I'll ask you if you have a few parting words to the students before we give them, bid them goodbye. Who would like to start? Raise your hand. Okay, Danabelle, you can go ahead.
Congratulations, guys. You did so well. I enjoyed hearing all of you. Remember that whatever the outcome is, again, I will reiterate, poetry is its own reward. Please keep reading, please keep writing, and I hope to see you again, and good luck.
I had so much fun. Thank you for sharing your energy and your performances with us. It was such a great way to start off this morning. I will echo what Danabelle said and say that poetry is its own reward, regardless of the outcome. You all did really, really well, and you should be so proud of yourselves because you got so far. So good luck.
And just to add to that, you've taken another's words and made it your own, and that in itself is so beautiful. And you memorized the whole thing. Not only did you take the spectrum from just reciting, but performing and drama. Wow, you all were so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you to the judges. Thank you for being with us, and to the students. We wish you all the best of luck. And as I said, we will announce the winners at the end of the week. We will not give you your place to keep an element of surprise for the awards ceremony, but we will let you know that you've won a place in the competition, and we would like you to prepare, when we let you know that you've won a place, to prepare your poem again, because the first place winners will be performing their poems in front of the audience at the awards ceremony. The award ceremony, just to write it in your calendars, is on Tuesday, the 8th of February at 12 p.m. in Al Habtoor, in Hilton Al Habtoor City. We will send you all this information. Don't worry, just giving you a heads up for now. So again, we wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Just to let you know, all the finalists will also be getting a certificate, and it will be emailed to the teachers who are registered on in our system. So thank you so much to the judges. Thank you to the students and teachers, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Judges, I'll send you a